Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to my Surah A Al-E Imran English translation video part 2. So let's just get started. You can never attain righteousness unless you spend in the cause of Allah that which you dearly cherish, and whatever you spend, surely it is known to Allah. All food that is lawful in Islamic law was also halal for the children of Israel, except what Israel made haram for himself before the Torah was revealed to Musa. Ask them, bring the Torah and read a passage from it in support of your objection. If what you say is true, then whoever fabricates a lie against Allah after this will indeed be unjust. Say Allah has declared the truth. If you are sincere, then follow the faith of Ibrahim, who was upright and not a mushrik. Indeed, the first house for the worship of Allah ever built for mankind is the one at Mecca, a blessed sight and a guidance for all the worlds. In it are clear signs, the station of Ibrahim. Whoever enters it is safe. Performance of Hajj to this house is a duty to Allah for all who can afford the journey to it, and the one who disobeys this commandment should know that Allah is self-sufficient, beyond the need of any from the worlds. Say, O people of the book, why do you deny the revelations of Allah? Allah himself is a witness to your actions. Say, O people of the book, why do you obstruct the believers from the path of Allah and desire that they follow the crooked way, while you yourselves are witnesses to the truth? Allah is not unmindful of what you do. O believers, if you were to obey a group of those who were given the book, they would turn you back from belief to unbelief. Just think, how can you turn away from belief on their statements when Allah's revelations are being recited to you, and Allah's Rasul is among you? Whoever holds fast to Allah will indeed be guided towards the right way. O believers, fear Allah as he should be feared, and die not but as true Muslims. Altogether, hold fast to the rope of Allah, and be not divided among yourselves. Remember Allah's favors upon you when you were enemies. He united your hearts, so by his favor you became brethren. You were at the brink of the fiery pit, and he saved you from it. Thus Allah makes his revelations clear to you, so that you may be rightly guided. Let there arise from among you a band of people who should invite to righteousness, enjoin good and forbid evil. Such are the ones who shall be successful. Be not like those who became divided into sects and who started to argue against each other after clear revelations had come to them. Those responsible for division and arguments will be sternly punished. On the day when some faces will be brightened with joy and others darkened with gloom, to the dark-faced sinner it will be said, As for the bright-faced ones, they will be in Allah's mercy and abide therein forever. These are the revelations of Allah. We recite them to you in truth. Allah intends no injustice to the worlds. All that is in the heavens and in the earth belongs to Allah, and all matters return to Allah for decision. You are the best nation which has ever been raised for the guidance of mankind. You enjoin good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah. Had the people of the book believed it, would surely have been better for them. Among them, some are believers, but most of them are transgressors. Anyhow, they can do no harm to you except a trifling annoyance. If they do fight against you, they will turn their backs and run away, getting no help from anywhere. Disgrace will be branded on them wherever they are found, except when they are under a covenant of protection from Allah and from other people. They have incurred the wrath of Allah. They have been branded with misery because they disbelieved Allah's revelations and slew His prophets unjustly. This is because they disobeyed and transgressed the limits. Yet they are not all alike. There are some among the people of the book who are upright, who recite the revelations of Allah all night long, and then prostrate before Him. They believe in Allah and the last day. They enjoin good and forbid evil, and rush in emulating each other in good deeds. These are the righteous people. Whatever good they do, its reward will not be denied to them. Allah knows the pious. Surely for those who are unbelievers, neither their wealth nor their children shall in the least protect them from the wrath of Allah. They will be the inmates of the hellfire and live therein forever. Example of what they spend in this life is that of a freezing wind, which strikes and destroys the tillage of people who have wronged themselves. It is the lack of faith which makes their reward null and void. Allah is not unjust to them. It is they who have done injustice to their own souls. said to the believers, "Is it not enough that Allah should send down 3,000 angels to help you? Of course, if you remain patient and pious, Allah will send to your aid not 3,000, but 5,000 specially marked angels in case of a sudden attack from the enemy. Allah has told you this as good news, and that your hearts may be at ease thereby. Victory comes only from Allah, the Mighty, the Wise. Allah sent the aid of angels for the believers to offset the aid of shaitans to the unbelievers, so that he might cut off a flank of the unbelievers, or put them to flight, making them withdraw with utter disappointment. O Prophet, you have no authority to decide the affair. It is up to Allah whether to pardon or punish them, since they are wrongdoers. To Allah belongs all that is in the heavens and in the earth. He pardons whom He pleases and punishes whom He pleases. Allah is forgiving and merciful. O believers, do not consume usury which is compounded over and over again. Have fear of Allah so that you may prosper. Guard yourself against the fire which is prepared for the unbelievers. Obey Allah and His Rasul so that you may be shown mercy. Rush towards the forgiveness from your Rabb, to a paradise as vast as the heavens and the earth, which is prepared for the righteous people. Those who spend generously in the way of Allah, whether they are in prosperity or in adversity, who control their anger and forgive other people. Allah loves such charitable people, who, if they commit an indecency or wrong their own souls, earnestly remember Allah and seek forgiveness for their sins, for no one can forgive sins except Allah, and those who do not knowingly persist in something wrong which they have done, such people will be rewarded with forgiveness from their Rabb, besides gardens, beneath which rivers flow, to live therein forever. How excellent is the reward for such laborers! As for those who rejected the divine revelations, there have been many examples before you. Travel through the earth and see what was the end of those who rejected the truth. This, the Quran, is a clear declaration to mankind, a guidance and an admonition to those who are God conscious. Do of Allah, like the Rasuls that passed away before him. If he dies or is killed, will you turn back on your heels, become unbelievers? He who turns back on his heels will do no harm to Allah. Soon Allah will reward the thankful. No one dies without the permission of Allah. The term of every life is fixed. He who desires the reward in this world shall be given it here, and he who desires the reward in the hereafter shall be given it there. Soon we will reward the thankful. In the past, many prophets have fought in the way of Allah. With a large number of godly people, they did not lose heart during the adversities that befell them in the path of Allah. They neither showed weakness nor submitted to falsehood. Allah loves the steadfast. Their only words were, "Our Rabb, forgive our sins and our excesses. Establish our feet firmly and give us victory over the unbelievers." Therefore, Allah gave them the reward in this world, and also an excellent reward awaits them in the hereafter. Allah loves such righteous who are good to others. O believers, if you yield to the unbelievers, they will drag you back to unbelief, and you will become the losers. The fact is that Allah is your protector, and He is the best of all helpers. Soon we shall cast terror into the hearts of the unbelievers, for they commit shirk with Allah, for which He has revealed no authority. The hellfire shall be their home, and evil is the home of the wrongdoers. Allah did indeed fulfill His promise to you, when, with His leave, you defeated them until you flinched and fell into dispute about the order and disobeyed the Prophet, after Allah had brought within your sight that which you love. Among you there were some who desired the gain of this world, and some who desired the gain of the hereafter. He allowed you to be defeated in order to test you, but now He has forgiven you. For Allah is gracious to the unbelievers. Remember how you fled in panic and did not even look back at one another while the Rasul at your rear was calling out to you. Consequently, Allah inflicted upon you one sorrow after another to teach you a lesson, so that you may not grieve for what you lose, nor at any misfortune you may encounter. Allah is well aware of all that you do. Then, after this grief, He bestowed peace on some of you, a slumber which overcame them, while the others were in anxiety as how to save themselves, holding unjust and wrong suspicions about Allah, the suspicions of ignorance. Now they ask, have we any say in the matter? Tell them, all matters are in the hands of Allah. They hide in their minds what they dare not reveal to you, saying, if we had any say in the matter, none of us would have been killed here. Say to them, even if you had remained in your homes, those of you who were destined to be killed would nevertheless have been killed, but it was Allah's will to test your faith and purge what was in your hearts. Allah has knowledge of the secrets of your hearts. In fact, is life and death. Allah is observant of all your actions. If you should die or get killed in the cause of Allah, His forgiveness and mercy will be far better than all the riches you could gather. Whether you die or get killed, all of you will be brought before Allah. O Muhammad, it is a great mercy of Allah that you are very gentle with them. Had you been rough or hard-hearted, they would have deserted you. Therefore, pardon them and ask Allah's forgiveness for them. Consult them in their conduct of affairs, and when you make a decision to do something, then put your trust in Allah. Allah loves those who put their trust in Him. If Allah helps you, then there is none who can overcome you. If He forsakes you, then who else is there other than Him who can help you? Therefore, in Allah let the believers put their trust. It is not conceivable that any prophet would hold back from the spoils of war. For anyone who holds back shall bring along whatever he has been withholding on the day of resurrection. Then every soul shall be paid back in full what it has earned, and they shall not be dealt with unjustly. Can it be conceivable that a person who is seeking the good pleasure of Allah will be like the one who has incurred the wrath of Allah and is ultimately doomed to hell, which is an evil refuge? These two kinds of people have quite different levels in the sight of Allah. Allah is observant of all their actions. Allah has done a greater favor to the believers that He raised among them a Rasul from among themselves, reciting to them the revelations of Allah, sanctifying them and teaching them the book and wisdom. Although before this they were in manifest error. How is it that when you are afflicted with a loss, after you yourselves had inflicted losses twice as heavy upon your enemy in the battle of Badr, you exclaimed, "Whose fault was that?" Say to them, "It was your own fault. Surely Allah has power over everything." The misfortune which befell you when the two armies met in the battle of Uhud was with the leave of Allah, so that He might know the true believers and know the hypocrites. When it was said to them, "Come fight for the cause of Allah, or at least defend yourselves," they replied, "Had we known how to fight, we would certainly come with you." On that day, they were nearer to unbelief than to belief, for they uttered with their mouths what was not in their hearts. Allah is quite aware of what they were concealing. Such are the ones who, as they sat at home, said of their brothers, "Had they listened to us, they would not have been killed." Ask them, As a result, they returned home with blessings and grace from Allah and suffered no harm at all. Besides this, they had the honor of following what pleased Allah, and Allah is the owner of mighty grace. Now you must have realized that it was the shaitan who was trying to prompt you to fear his followers, but have no fear of them. Fear me if you are true believers. O Muhammad, let not those who rush headlong into unbelief grieve you. Surely they can do absolutely no harm to Allah. Allah intends to give them no share in the hereafter. They shall have a grievous punishment. Those who barter away faith for unbelief will in no way harm Allah. They shall have a painful punishment. Let not the unbelievers think that our granting of respite is good for their souls. We grant them respite so that they may add more to their sins. They shall have a disgraceful punishment. Allah will not leave the believers in their present condition. You are in this condition only until He separates the evil from the good. Allah will not do this by disclosing to you the secrets of the unseen. As for disclosing the unseen, Allah chooses those of His Rasools whom He pleases. Therefore, believe in Allah and His Rasools. If you believe and guard yourselves against evil, you shall have a great reward. Let those who are stingy in giving for charity from what Allah has blessed them with think that it is good for them. Nay, it is very bad for them. All the wealth they hoarded with stingy behavior will be hung around their necks like a collar on the day of resurrection. It is Allah who will inherit the heavens and the earth. Allah is well aware of your actions. Allah has heard the statement of those who said, Allah is poor and we are rich. Their words are recorded, and so is their unjust killings of the prophets. On the day of judgment, we shall say, taste now the torment of burning. Here is the reward of your deeds. Allah is not unjust to His servants. They also say, Allah has commanded us to believe in no Rasul unless He shows us a sacrifice consumed by a fire from the heaven. Ask them, other prophets before me have come to you with clear arguments and shown this miracle you are asking for. Why did you kill them if what you say is true? O Muhammad, if they reject you by calling you an impostor, so did they reject other Rasools before you, although they brought them clear signs, divine scriptures, and the enlightening book. Every soul shall taste death. You shall receive your full reward for everything which you have striven for on the day of resurrection. Whoever is spared from the fire and is admitted into paradise will indeed be successful, for the life of this world is nothing but an illusory enjoyment. You shall certainly be tested through your wealth and your persons, and you will certainly hear much that is hurtful from those who were given the book before you, and from the mushrikeen. But if you endure with patience and have fear of Allah, this will surely be a proof of your firm determination. When Allah made the covenant with those who were given the book, they were asked to spread the teachings of the book to mankind and not to conceal them, but they cast it behind their backs and sold them for a petty price. What a bad bargain they made! Those who rejoice in their misdeeds and love to be praised for what they have not actually done should never think that they will escape the punishment. In fact, they shall have a painful punishment, for all the dominations of the heavens and the earth belong to Allah, who has power over everything. Surely in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, there are signs for men of understanding. Those who remember Allah while standing, sitting and lying on their sides, and meditate on the creation of the heavens and the earth, then say, "Ah, Rabb, you have not created this in vain. Glory to you. Save us from the punishment of the fire. Ah, Rabb, those whom you cast into the fire will be in eternal shame, and there shall be no help for such wrongdoers. Ah, Rabb, we have heard someone calling to the faith saying, 'Believe in your Rabb,' so we have believed. Ah, Rabb, forgive us sins, remove from us our evil deeds, and make us die with the righteous. Ah, Rabb, grant us what you have promised through your Rasuls, and save us from the shame on the day of resurrection. Surely you never break your promise." So the Rabb answers their prayers, saying, "I will not let the good deed of any worker among you, whether a male or a female, be wasted. You are the offspring of one another. Those who had to leave their homes or were expelled therefrom, and those who suffered persecution for my sake and fought and were killed, I will forgive them their sins and admit them into gardens beneath which rivers flow. A prize from Allah, and Allah holds the finest prize. Do not be deceived by the free movement of the unbelievers in this land. Their enjoyment is brief. Their ultimate home shall be hell, an evil resort. As for those who fear their Rabb, there shall be gardens beneath which rivers flow. They will live therein forever. This will be their welcome from Allah, and what Allah possesses is the best for righteous people. There are some among the people of the book who truly believe in Allah and what has been revealed to you, O Muhammad, and what has been revealed to them before you. They humble themselves before Allah and do not sell the revelations of Allah for a petty price. For them there will be a reward from their Rabb. Surely Allah is very swift in settling their accounts. O believers, be patient, excel in patience during confrontation. Hold yourselves ready for battle, and have fear of Allah, so that you may be successful. That was the English translation of Surah A L-E Imran. The next video will translation of Surah An-Nisa, so make sure to click that subscribe and like button to not miss